Hey guys, it's 1/14/2021. So I'll tell you a little bit about what's going on with me. Okay, so I'm getting hit kind of a little bit right now. Even I kind of been getting hit off and on all day. Um, I only got 3 hours of sleep last night. The dog woke me up, and I couldn't get back. They wouldn't let me get back to sleep. I've been up all day. So I've been up since about 3:30 in the morning and all that stuff. That's kind of what's going on with me. Okay, so my family member knows that I complain about being tortured. Sometimes it comes out. Okay. Uh, um, I tried not to talk about this, and she wants to pretend like it's not happening. She's part of it. She's involved with these people. Okay, so uh, but I told her, I said, I was getting hit super hard. I'm like, hey, I wouldn't be surprised if I'd end up in psych ward by Friday, because I was getting hit so hard, and I told her that. Sometimes I can't help but to talk about this because I get so mad. I get upset. I don't deserve this. And you got a bunch of punks sitting here torturing me, and that's all they are, punks. Okay, so anyway, so I was laying down, I got up, had a cup of coffee, I was just kind of up and down all day and all this stuff. And she comes downstairs. It was her day off. So she comes downstairs and she's like, turn it on, Dr. Phil. There's a guy on there talking about being tortured. Okay, so I turned it to Dr. Phil. Sure enough, he had another TI on there. Okay, now he's had about 5 TIs on his show, and he discredits and gives mental health advice and offers them to speak with somebody about mental health. Every single TI. Okay, now the last TI he had on there was a lady. Lived in a nice house, had a husband. Had a husband, all this stuff. But she did heroin every now and then. I did heroin every now and then. All right, they bring that stuff up. Okay, they bring that up. Okay, was she a real TI? I don't know, but she had a little bit of a drug problem. Okay, now this guy today, I watched about 10 minutes of it and I shut it off because he was in his house tinfoiling and everything and carrying magnets, and he seemed seemed real and all this stuff. I'd never seen him in the community or anything, but he had a drug. He was in the club scene 13 years ago or whatever, years ago. And he had a history of doing cocaine, other drugs, marijuana, stuff like that. They brought it up. They brought it up, and then they talk about that stuff. Discredit us. Okay, why do these people go on, Dr. Phil, when they're just going to be discredited? Are they real TIs, or is it just a psyop to discredit us? I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. But so he had a past drug problem. He seemed real. He tore apart his car and all. He did all this stuff, and I think it was real, and stuff. So I watched about 10 minutes of it. When I heard the drug thing, I shut it off because, um, it's it, you know, some people say that everyone has a past. Well, that's not true. We all don't have a past. All right. I don't think, I'm not for marijuana. I'm not against marijuana. Uh, you know, um, if that's people's choice to do that, it is still illegal in a lot of states, and it's considered a drug, an illegal drug. I don't, I'm not judging anybody out there that chooses to do marijuana, but if you go to a lawyer they're gonna dig into your past. Okay, so if you try, okay, let me tell you something. If you try to sue one of these agencies, they're gonna dig. They're gonna dig you a new asshole. They're gonna dig into your past. And if you're making videos and you're talking about conspiracy theories and all this stuff, they're gonna rip you apart. You're not gonna have a chance. They're gonna rip you apart. You know, about some of the things that people talk about. You know, some people go on those calls and, oh man, I wish I had some marijuana, and on a recorded call. I mean, it's like, come on, man. Use your head a little bit. Whether you're for marijuana, against marijuana, or whatever, try joining a class action lawsuit. You're dealing with the government. They're gonna rip you apart. They're gonna dig into your past, and if you're making videos, they're gonna look at your videos. And I've had jury duty before, and the guy was suing the railroad, and they dug into his past because he had a drinking problem. They totally discredited the guy. We voted. We didn't give him any money because we weren't 100% sure that he had an injury from the railroad because he was drunk and fell down and hurt himself before. And the injury could have came from that. We didn't give him any money. And his lawyers knew that he was losing. So they put him up on the stand. He seemed like a nice guy and all this stuff, but he was golfing. If people think they can go to a lawyer and actually get somewhere, you gotta check your past. They're gonna rip you a new asshole. If you don't have a good past, you're not gonna be able to sue anybody. You're not gonna be able to get help. They're gonna rip you apart. So these TIs go on, so-called TIs go on Dr. Phil, and he rips them apart. A lot of them have drug histories and stuff like that. It's like, he discredits them. Brings it up. Why are they bringing it up? Well, they discredit them. It discredits all of us. It's just, that's what I'm talking about tonight. It's I don't care what people do out there. I don't judge anybody. I'm just saying, if people are like, oh, I'm gonna go to a lawyer and I'm gonna win, I'm gonna sue the CIA for tons of money. Well, that's probably not gonna happen. Especially if you're talking about conspiracy stuff and you talk about drugs and stuff like that. It's they're gonna rip you apart. That's what's gonna happen. They're not gonna give up their money. People just don't understand what's going on. So anyway, I'm not talking about you guys. I'm talking about, there's people out there that talk about certain things. It's like, man, I'd keep that to yourself. But it's too late. They say it on recorded calls. They say it on video, which is a record of it, where they can look at it at any time. I mean, we have to be smarter than that, because we all don't have a past. I don't. I don't do drugs or anything. And I try to stay away from conspiracy talk, because, if we ever get to testify in front of someone, I don't know if that day will ever come, but we gotta look at, I mean, I'm not saying I'm perfect, I get kind of upset on my videos, some of my videos and stuff, but I don't talk about certain things, I try to stay away from conspiracy stuff and stuff like that. Oh, my battery's dying. Alright, so I'm going to cut this off. So there was a TI on Dr. Phil today, I don't know if you guys seen it, but they were on there, they're ripping them apart, they discredit all TIs, offer them mental health help, and all this stuff. He's had like 5 TIs on there so far, talking about the same thing, and all this stuff, and he rips them apart. That's what would happen if you ended up in court. The other side would rip you apart. You know, they're not gonna be like, sure, we're gonna give you $100,000. They're gonna rip you apart. Is what they're gonna do. Rip your past apart. You ever done drugs? Are you in conspiracy theories? You think, I don't know, certain people are taking over the world and, stuff like that, You think everything's a false flag? You might have a little bit of a problem there, So, anyway, it's too late for that. Those people will never get help anyway. They're never going to get help, But, anyway, I'm going to cut this off. Hopefully you guys will get help, and I'll get help someday, And, you know what I'm trying to say. I'm not trying to pick on anybody, but we have to be careful what we talk about on this stuff when it's recorded, and all those calls they're recorded and stuff, and people just don't use their head, But anyway, so there was a TI on there today, and that's that. So anyway, I'm gonna cut this off. I hope you guys doing well. I'm being hit right now, right this minute, and stuff. They just started a little bit ago, and why are they doing it? I don't know. But so I'm gonna cut this off, and I'll talk to you guys later. Hope you guys doing well, and I'll talk to you later.